wangena uMfene, wangena uLisa, wangena uHlathi, bakwethu ndiyanibulisa, igama lami ndingisive bahle. And today our guest is Renier. We have a very amazing man in our midst.
Hello.
So, man, let me welcome you on as Legacy Explorer. I would like to begin with this statement. You know, it is beautiful when we become one thing, despite of the differences that can be labeled by our societies, by different nations. So I love what is happening here because I feel like different nations are coming together, and that was the purpose of this platform. You know, of this brand from the beginning. We said this is a national brand, and going internationally was really not part of the plan. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to experience this and to be part and parcel of this.
But I do think I can share some knowledge from what I know.
I get that. So, Kamala Renier, man, take us through you. Who is Renier, and how can we really describe Renier?
Well, if we want to go back from where it all started, I think I was born in Bloemfontein, raised in Bloemfontein, and I really hope not to die in Bloemfontein. Honestly, if I will kick the bucket, I want to kick it with a view. You know, want to go to the seaside or wherever. I don't want to stay in Bloemfontein forever. So that's one thing about me, and I just really like experiencing life for the most part. That's my major thing. Just try and enjoy life while I can.
Take us back to your childhood, as you speak that you were born in Bloemfontein. Take us through the challenges that you encountered as a child growing up, because growing up in South Africa, I believe South Africa is such a country with diverse experiences, since we are living in the society of inclusivity. So take us through the experiences that were challenging when you were a child.
Well, I'll start off by saying first that I was born in privilege, relative privilege compared to most South Africans. But I'm have a middle class family, and that's just what I was born into. So I was privileged with that at least. But so money wasn't any problem for me. Oh well, in the sense of it wasn't we never struggled with money at least. That's why I can say I was privileged in that aspect. But I think mentally, if we want to talk challenges that I had, I was born with kind of a mental deficit. There was something wrong with my brain. On your search bar, how it's just www.youtube.com .watch it's safe if it's HTTPS or if it's established big websites, that's a biggest bets to go and not be scammed, because you won't be scammed on the biggest websites. There's people that would try to take advantage on the websites, but the websites themselves won't scam you. So there's usually a deal that you sometimes can go through if you're a big dealer in the website. I remember when I turned 18, Player Auctions wanted the contract from me that said that, okay, I will do this and this and this. So you can just contact the people from the website if you're feeling unsafe, for example. You can just contact the people on the website yourself, and you can then from your own 2 cents put 2 and 2 together if it's a legit website. So
and you mentioned something when we speak, and I was not amazed by the fact that you can only make money online. I was also amazed by the fact that you said much money, and earlier on you mentioned that some of games that we have, they really do contribute a lot to our wallets. Looking at you, and you made example with FIFA. Many people love to play FIFA, and
many people take FIFA so seriously. Sorry for interrupting you, but for example, if you have to take FIFA as an example, just as a gaming platform, the company FIFA, the company, like last year in the year 2020, made more money from the gaming platform of FIFA than the actual FIFA itself. You know, like with the professional players and the games and whatever. Like that's kind of insane if you have to think about it, because FIFA is a multi-billion-dollar company, isn't it?
Organization. Yeah, yeah.
The organization, yes. Now, but I think like the one main reason why it happened was probably because of like there weren't like that many ticket sales last year, COVID. But still, like if you have to think about it, like even if it has to like financially overtake like the main thing, the actual thing, it's insane to think about, because like in like FIFA, the game itself, there's like millions of microtransactions that they can have and just profit heavily off of. And tournaments, like the online tournaments, were worth more than the actual games were.
And I agree with you, because I remember sometime, I think in year 2019, there was there was a competition just in Mimosa. They held a tournament there for people who play FIFA, and you know the winner was really getting away with a grand prize there. So I really believe when you say that. You know, one of the things that I like when you mention these things, because you know some of the things that we do, speaking from my side, people play FIFA for fun. People play FIFA to just chase away
just to chill and have a good time.
Yeah, loneliness, just not to be lonely, you know, only to find out that you can make a good money out of that. And I want to allude this to our audience. If you have a question to Reni that you want, if you have a question that you want to ask Reni, you can of course feel free to ask any question. Reni, man, now let's get to our first subject, which is impact of lockdown. How, you know, this thing of COVID-19, when it arrived here and when it permeated in our country, nobody expected that we will have such situation. And you know, everyone was losing balance I mean, looking at the finances, looking at the academics, because even academics were more affected. Even employment opportunities, people were retrenched. Like we really had several problems because of because of lockdown. How did lockdown affected you personally or individually?
Honestly, it affected my hairdressing career very much. Well, because salons weren't open anymore. I couldn't like do hair anymore. I couldn't work for that for a living anymore, at least for the time being. But like at least it like made me so I can transfer more time into like gaming again and getting better at games again and being part of tournaments again, because I retired for a while from gaming tournaments. Like the last tournament I had was in late 2019 before COVID, and when COVID happened, I just played more tournaments and just tried to make a living off of tournaments again. And I wasn't trying to sell any products anymore or anything online. I was just trying to win stuff. So that's like the biggest impact, is just so I couldn't academically be able to study anymore. So, and just transfer to online again.
Yeah, I want to ask this based on your experience and as a gamer. Do you really think one can say I'm not gonna get employed, or I'm not going to seek for work, but I can actually play games to sustain my living? Can you really live out of it?
You know what? I would say not everyone can do that. Like you don't like, it's not exclusively two games alone. There's like a lot of things you can do online to make money. But if we have to like talk about gaming specifically, I can't speak. Sorry, one moment. First of all, the biggest thing is you actually have to be good at the game you play to make money out of it. You can't like be your average Joe and play the game. Just started doing it and loved it.
In most cases, when we speak about like the first step for a person to be successful, or maybe to excel in whatever that they do, they must firstly discover their purpose. Have you at this age, or maybe at this level of life, have you discovered your own purpose? Do you really understand that thing?
That's a very deep question. But honestly, I don't think I've discovered my full purpose. I think it's going to take me a while to still discover my purpose, because I think that's like still something that I will always like struggle with until I firmly know what it is. But like right now, as I said previously as well, like I'm just trying to live life. I'm just trying to experience it right now. I don't think I think it's kind of sad when I say I don't think I know my purpose. I just know that I have a purpose. I just don't know what it is, and I couldn't really be much too bothered to try to fully understand what my purpose is, because I think I've had to dive down that rabbit hole of like, who am I? What am I? Who should I be? What was I? Where am I going? Where was I? I think that would just cause like a whole case of depression, which I'm not ready for. So
Yeah, yeah. And one thing I like about this platform, and I was saying this, on one of the adverts that we did, as Vaekasi Explorer, which is this platform, is not actually for perfect people. It's not for people who have arrived. It's not for people who say, now I'm done. Because every day is a new beginning. I was saying
yes,
that. And but I carried on saying it's actually for people who look back and say, wow, I have survived, despite the fact that I don't have a purpose, but I'm still living and I don't have
yeah,
problems. Yeah. And I believe, like, as you continue to live, when you get to a point whereby you discover your purpose, life will be so beneficial, and it will come with extra joy, extra joy. And the reason I'm saying, I'm asking this question, it's because some people are just around our country, even overseas. When they don't discover their purpose, they really think low of themselves. Like they really think
yeah.
like they are
They don't
not
have
they
the
are not good
confidence to
enough.
carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like a very big thing, is that if you don't, for most people, I think it's especially a problem with the younger you are, the bigger of a problem it is, because like when you're like 18 or 17 or 16, and between those ages specifically, and you're either done with school, you're out of school, or you don't know, or you're, like let's say you just got out of school, and then what I think the majority of like young people experience is like this this perplexion of like you don't know what to do, you don't know what's next. Like for a very small percentage of like teenagers that actually know that what they want to do, good for them. But like the majority of people, well, teenagers, like they don't know what they want to do, and I think it's a really big issue there. And I think like it's something that a lot of like teenagers like spend like way too much time to try, or well, they focus too much on what they should do, when they should, where they should go and whatnot. Well, I just think that they should just like I said, like what I'm doing right now, I'm just experiencing life. You don't have to worry about what your purpose is. You can just live your life still, even if you don't like fully understand your purpose. You can still be happy without knowing your own purpose. So I think it's very unfair to oneself if you deny yourself happiness because you don't know what you want or what you are.
That's power
Uh,
there. That's power speaking there. That's power speaking there, and I feel like it's the best incentive to you've dropped right here. I want to come to a point where uh, I want to come to a point where we speak about the pressure that we get from universities, because university is something that can also, if you didn't complete it or you didn't go to university, it can also like it can make you feel like you are not complete, and
yeah,
you're not
they
prosper.
can make you
You're not
feel like
gonna
a failure.
prosper. You feel exactly. You feel inadequate.
Art, But you can even like sing, make songs for people. Like if you have a really good voice, you can sing for people. You can like advertise yourself online, and like you don't have to keep your clientele like local in that sense. If you have like a skill to sell, if you have a skill to sell, you can take it international. You can advertise to anyone, anywhere. Like people from England would probably contact you and be like, "Yo, can you sing this song, or can you make this song for us a reality and whatnot?" If you're like musically gifted, for example. Like that's just like one example. Like also depend, like I said, it depends on the type of business you run or the skill share you have to sell.
I understand, and I think you make sense there.
Okay.
Now, one of the problems that we have as the economy, as the country, is the problem of unemployment. Unemployment is one of the things that affect us as a country. And when you look at the rate, I think right now it's 29 or 30. It's right there, and they say like majority of the rate, majority of like people who are unemployed are young people. Where do you think we get it wrong? Is it us citizens who get it wrong, or is it how things are happening in terms of government? Why do we have so much unemployment? I understand this question can really relate to lockdown, because after lockdown people lost. During lockdown and after lockdown, people lost their jobs, and that really escalated the rate of unemployment. Where do you think we get it wrong?
That's a very big question to start off with. That's like a huge question when it comes to like tackling unemployment, because I think it really depends on the people themselves these days. Because I think it's been established that while we should actually be able to like rely. Oh, sorry, I can't speak. Rely on our government or rely on local businesses to give us employment, but that's kind of a problem. It isn't given. You have to take it. You have to force yourself in a position where you can get a job. Like there's a lot of in South Africa, especially. There's a lot of like businesses that just like pull the family ahead, or that the people that they know is the only people that they will employ. They won't employ like anyone from the streets or anyone that, even if they are qualified, just because they want to keep everything like safe within their own boundaries, which is understandable. But I think like a big problem is that when it comes to like local unemployment, is that it really depends on the people. If you're willing to make something of yourself, then I believe you have the full right to try and do that. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, then just you have to try. If it doesn't work out, then you just have to keep trying, because there's no other option in life than to not try. You have to keep trying no matter what. And keep trying, when I keep saying that, it's more of a blanket statement almost, because I'm not really saying anything by just saying keep trying. But what I mean by that is like you either keep trying, looking everywhere for a job wherever you can, or trying to make your own thing work. Even if it involves years of struggle, like that's the reality of life. Life isn't easy. You have to keep working. You have to try your best to survive, because South Africa, I think, is a really big example of survival of the fittest, because everyone's just trying to look out for themselves in South Africa. I think that's like the really big thing in South Africa, is everyone's trying to look out for themselves. They don't really care about the like neighbor, or they don't care about their brother in arms or whatever. So everyone's just trying to look out for themselves. I think that's like the problem with the local unemployment. Yeah, so
if you had to choose one between the two, which one you would choose? Emotional support or financial support?
it depends on the situation. like
Given it's your talent,
given it's
your talent or purpose.
well, that I think if you can, if it's like a black and white question, like if I have to choose this or have to choose this, then I think I would rather go for like the emotional support. I don't know if that's like controversial to say or whatever, because I think, well, it depends on how confident you are in what you do. Because if you have financial support, it's then more, and there's no emotional part to it. It's more of an investment, isn't it? It's more of an investment if give you financial support, and there's no emotional investment in it. So I would rather take the emotional support because I know through that I can keep myself positive and keep myself believing in what I do. Because with the financial support, I can probably do what I want, or do what I want to be able to achieve. But I think that would, like, if I have no emotional support, then why would I do that? Like, if I'm just living for myself, what's the point in achieve what you want to do or want to accomplish in the morning? Because you just woke up, you just got breakfast. That's the most power your brain will have for the rest of the day. Like the longer the day goes on, the less power your brain has. Like I think that's like the big thing. It's about the power your brain has, because you can think of it like a phone. Like your phone is freshly charged in the morning, and the phone will last the entire day, but your phone will get more flat during the day. The battery will go like just get less and less and less eventually. So I think like your brain also works like that. Like the more power it has in it, the more efficient it is. So I think that's like why I say it so much is in the morning, because you will have the willpower and the motivation in the morning to do it, and the brain power to be able to complete it. So
Man, that's the best advice, and I love you so much, man. But before we close, let's hit on the subject where you were a fighter, MMA fighter.
yeah, that's also had a big thing of time management. Yeah.
Yeah, let just before you get on that, I want to I want to say this. I didn't know what is an MMA fighter. Then so I had to go and search. And when I searched there, I found like I was this is a wrestling for those tough guys like who fight for real and
Yeah,
not
those
like
people that fight in cages.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean
that was my thing. Yeah, I used to do
that's
that like a
scary.
few years ago. Like that was like my passion for a while, was MMA fighting. But like I remember I had to train like 4 hours a day for it. Like I remember I in the morning I just had gym. Then I in the evening I exercised for another hour in the gym, like with weights and whatnot. Then I did cardio for an hour. Then I did like strategy for a while, like the actual MMA, like sparring, fighting techniques. I spent another hour on. So like in total, I spent like 4 hours a day on training for that, and it was really really intense because it didn't. I really didn't have like a lot of time for anything else, and like I think part of it was like I had to sacrifice a lot of like my personal time to be able to achieve my capabilities in the matchups that I had in the fighting that I could yeah, do. Was just by like sacrificing a lot of personal time and just training all the time. Like I think that's also like a big factor when it comes to like time management is also what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve it.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
because you were including saying you were including when I was mentioning it said it's one of the things that specify the importance of time management. I wanted you to take me through that. So now I get it when you say sometimes you just have to sacrifice to get where you want to really
Mm.
to get yeah like I totally understand. And I think I was tempted to ask this like during the fight, you know, if the fight went bad for you and the time is over, you still have that spirit of that, that fire within you that you wish you can fight back, but the time is.
You have to have the fight to fight. If you want to talk about the fights, do you want to talk about the fights themselves, like how they went, or how I had
Yeah,
to manage the fights?
yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the fights.
Okay. Well, the fights, like I had like 4 cage matches in total. Um, but like after those 4 matches, I decided I'm done. But I trained for like 2 years. I trained for it though. Like the fights, I haven't lost a fight though. Like I haven't lost an official fight
Such a
because,
beast.
but no, I didn't win it for good reason because I mostly like I said, I exercised for like 4 hours a day. So I was really, really strong. I weighed around 126 kilograms, and
Wow.
I was like just building muscle mostly. I fought in the super heavyweight classes. I didn't even fight in the heavyweight classes. I fought in the super heavyweight classes, like where all the big boys fight. Like you see all these like big guys, like these muscled up guys. Like I had to fight those type of guys.
Yeah.
And the thing is I didn't like in when it comes to like fighting in MMA. There's most people, and rightly so, would emphasize on the technique of how you fight. But the thing is, when you get to like the weight class that I was fighting at, it was you didn't care about technique anymore. It was about who could destroy the other person, and that was kind of a really scary thing, honestly, because in the end, and the reason why I stopped fighting is because where I was fighting, people didn't want to fight because I love the sport, because I love fighting. No, they wanted to fight because they wanted to destroy someone. That's why they wanted to fight.
So Asbaika Sea Explorer is where we go around different parts of the world, and we look for prominent people. We look for leaders who can come on forward and teach us the things that we were really not aware of.
Don't allow any problems that come your way to say to you, you cannot make it in life, give up. No.
People define love as sex, and that's not how it is.
My brain was capturing this for the last time so that when it goes off,
I respect myself,
So my mom single-handedly raised me. So
it's not all about the emotions. The emotions, you are having them
right now. It's also because we're competing, especially the system of
love, utando.
I believe I've seen God personally touching me.
They don't really mean sorry.
Realize how much you are worth and stop chasing the cheap hookups.
Like I had a very positive mindset to say, you know what?
If you continuously say I'm tired, eventually you're going to be tired.
Because they are not true to themselves.
Or teenagers that actually know what they want to do.
You want to be a millionaire, you really need to chill with the millionaires.
People actually want to sell what?
Or a sweet or a something to.
Nice. I'm grateful for the life that I've gotten to live up until this point.
Tomorrow you wake up and you start reading.
You can lead anyone or anything.
So you see this graph, ne?
It's the SCC 15, which is our colon clean.
Looking at myself in the way God sees me, and that's
what I will tell you. I lost that 150,000.
How much are you getting paid for this? And I'm like, nothing.
Then 2017, I went into depression.
As your father.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Asvaye on Facebook. Follow Asvaye and share the conversations. Question people about mentality.